people, I have a different sheet on my prayer journal. I have a different sheet for each day of the week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pray for wisdom, pray for family, I pray for my board. I pray for the staff at First Christian where we worship at the moment. I pray for different missionaries, different friends and acquaintances. I pray for our government. Every day, President Obama, Michelle, Malia, Sasha, his advisors, staff, and administration, the House and Senate, judicial branch. I pray for non-Christian groups, pray against non-Christian groups throughout the week. So some people I'll pray for each day, some people I'll pray for once or twice or 3 times a week. I have some people on here that's been on here 20 years. I just don't feel led to take them off. I'll update this prayer journal every 2 years or so. And there are some people I don't feel led to leave them on there, but there's quite a few that have been on there for a while. Does that make sense? Good. Other questions, comments?
I have one.
Yes.
So I've been praying for a few different couples in my family, both married, both relatively new believers. And I don't see a lot of fruit in repentance for them and reconciling. And so I kind of felt like I needed to pray for God's will rather than reconciliation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the good news is God can do whatever He wants with our prayers and answer them the way He wants. So you and I could pray for whatever, and He's going to work regardless. The good news, He's not dependent upon us for accurate prayers. He's just dependent upon us to have humble hearts that would be obedient to however He wants to use us to answer prayer. One of the things that I would pray is for God to raise up someone to invest in the couples, whether it's a couple investing in the couples or a guy investing in the guy and a gal in the gals. And He is into that. I know that's a yes answer from His perspective. Obviously, people have to want that. But I find that if we ask the right question, often we can help people get to the place where God wants them to be. We can't always do that by making statements, but we can by asking questions. Like a question might be, what do you think it's going to take for this year for you to get closer to God than you've ever been before? Most people have an idea, but it's an idea, it's not a plan. And, it's going to require an investment from someone into my life, probably. And then we can ask questions, who is that, or who do you think that is, and just kind of help them. I love coaching, because coaching doesn't tell people what to do, it just asks questions. And I think some people just need to have the right question asked. Does that make sense? Yeah, my wife and I started mentoring younger couples when we were still living in Michigan. Another couple did that also. So the 4 of us worked with 4 people, both married, 2 couples. And you would think that we had caused the sun to rise with those couples. They loved that so much, and they were young enough to be our kids. But they had, neither one of the couples had godly parents in a way that could speak into their lives. And so I found that this cross-generational thing, a lot of young couples would love to have an older couple invest in them. Because we've already made the mistakes and paid for them. It might be helpful to help them avoid making some of our same mistakes. So, just a thought. Dave, you had a question?
I have a question and I have a comment.
Okay.
Question, do you have a template of your prayer journal?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I have 6 journals in my one journal. One of them is a prayer journal. I'd be happy to send you. Yeah, just email me. My email address is on the bottom of the page.
Okay.
dtrune@gmail. I'll send you those 7 sheets. They're really 3 sheets. You have Sunday and Monday on one, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturdays by itself.
Okay. And I'd have ago, no, 2 weeks ago, met with Paul Covert in our prayer group at Queen Creek. And I learned something, and I talked to my fiance about it. We have had some difficulty with her older son. He's not a believer, and some difficulties, especially me and him, sometimes are like this. But we decided, let's just pray for him. And within a week, we saw some major changes in him. That the only answer is that God is starting to work with him right now.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
I have a friend. We're in the same small group in Northeast Phoenix. Super guy. Second marriage. Has 3 kids from his first marriage, and she had 1 from previous marriage. And his oldest son's 16, is just driving him nuts. My friend came out of a lot of drug abuse. He's been sober now, clean for 10 years. God got a hold of his life and has turned it right side up. One of the things I shared with him just a week ago yesterday was that when Moses says the sins of the parents will be visited to the 3rd and 4th generation, I don't know about you, but that scares the snot out of me. And so one of the things, I saw Peter Wagner write on this one time. Often he's out in some left field someplace, but I really felt he was right on with this. Sometimes we need to envision ourselves walking out into a stream, looking upstream, which represents our ancestors, and praying, may the sins of my ancestors not be visited on me. And then turning around, envisioning this, and looking downstream to see our descendants and praying, may the sins, my sins, not be visited on future generations. And Peter, and even when he wrote that, I think that was in his book, Tearing Down Strongholds in Your City. That might have been it. He said, at times there's no great breakthrough during the prayer time, but they do start to notice a difference. And secondly, he said sometimes it's supernatural what God does with that simple prayer. And so one of the things I've prayed for my kids pretty consistently is that my sins would not be showing up in their lives. I have 2 grandsons that live in Phoenix, and one's 5, one's 24, and I don't want them to deal with what I dealt with. And so that might be something for the oldest son. I've shared that with parents who have adopted children, who have no idea who their parents were. That's a case to pray that the sins of the parents would not be visited to the 3rd and 4th generation. But I think there's some prayer opportunities for us that God's just waiting for us to ask.
Let's give Dean a hand.